What's up, everybody? Back for round two. I am going to do maybe a 5 to 10 minute show every day, going over just some thoughts from being a full-time reseller. Um, Gonna definitely keep it under 10 minutes. Got a lot of stuff to do, but want to make sure I'm using this like I originally intended it, which is to journal some of the ideas that I have. So I want to just go over 5 thoughts that I had today. Um, and just share it with you guys. So the first thing is my listeners did not show up today, which is not surprising because it's Memorial Day weekend, and they probably have more fun things to do than come over to my house and list. So as expected, sort of my independent contractors did not show up today, which is unfortunate, but in lieu of that, I was able to list 200 items today, which is very surprising. And I came to the conclusion that new with tags is insanely fast to list, especially if you have quantities. It didn't even take me, it took me maybe 2 to 3 hours to list 200 items because every item had 8 or 9 or 10 different quantity of the item. And I purchased those items on clearance, and I was thinking to myself, I could just shop clearance. There's some people who do the friends and family sale for Nike, and they just bulk up and they go heavy on those days, and the rest of the time they take it easy. I think that's sort of a way to do it. If you were to go on Memorial Day sales and bulk up and buy thousands of items, you could just spend the rest of the time listing yourself and actually hit it. And I did not realize that I could hit my 10,000 item goal myself. It didn't occur to me that I don't actually need any employees for that. As far as like Greg Levine, this gentleman that I met at Amazon ASD, and he's selling tens of thousands of items by himself. On Instagram, I'm following a gentleman named John, Watch Me FBA. He has one employee and does 7 figures. So in theory, if you're purchasing brand new items that are scannable, you could list 100% of them by yourself on eBay or send them into Amazon and not even have any employees. I think it's definitely required to have employees if you want to scale pre-owned products, because each individual one requires its own listing, which is insanely time consuming, and the profit margins are there. The margin is there, but the actual dollar amount on a used item is significantly less than used, for the most part, unless you're selling cars or super high-end items, which I like to do. So that's one thought. The next thought is as far as the wholesale goes, I'm going to be placing an order with OEM Experts, and it's a company on the East Coast. They're going to send me a pallet. I'm going to check it out and see what happens. I'm going to purchase, I think it's their returns. So I'm going to try doing a pallet, and since my goal is 500 to 1,000 items per week, so I can really take advantage of the 10,000 listings, which you guys know, that's sort of that's the free listing max for the eBay Anchor store. So I want to get to 500 to 1,000 items listed per week. And I could actually do that myself. If this wholesale connection works out and I can get new with tags, and there's only 50 to 100, let's say there's 50 to 100 of each item. That's only 10 listings, 10 or 20 listings to get the 500 to 1,000 items I'm looking to get. As long as it has that sell-through rate, then that will work. So that's something very interesting. I am not paid by wholesale OEM or that company. I'm going to test it first. I'll do the unboxing when I get it and see how it turns out. Just like Luke opened that wholesale LL Bean lot, which we had discussed today. We could have even gotten that deal maybe for even cheaper. But it's just interesting how we're learning the whole wholesale process. It's going to be more expensive in the beginning, of course, as you're just getting started. But as I learn, we'll learn how to liquidate and how to buy closeouts on a better scale. And then I have 2 more thoughts for you. The 4th thought is, for this 10,000 listing challenge I have that I set on that journey today, it's more about the business person I become by accomplishing this goal more than the actual 10,000 items. I mean, I just put it up because that's the max listing goal, or the max listing capacity that's free for the eBay Anchor store. So I'm excited to become the person that can do that. Somebody who can process 500 to 1,000 items on eBay or Amazon is probably going to be successful to some extent. So I'm looking forward to becoming that person. Angel Martinez is asking 500 to 1,000 items of what? To me, it doesn't matter. It's all products. I would prefer very expensive items, but I don't have the capital to buy, 500 jets. That would be the best. I would love to flip things that cost at least $10 million because you would make a gigantic commission on all of them. But that's not going to be the case. So most likely I'm going to be reduced to selling junk until I have, a bigger bankroll. Let's see. Yeah, all of my people are independent contractors. I don't have any employees. It's California. The rules are very strict. So and that makes sense because I don't have any rules for them, they qualify as independent contractors. Like, they can come whenever they want, work whenever they want, do whatever they want, and get paid a piecemeal. So they get paid for their work, and it's not really even an issue. So Angel is asking, what specific niche would I like to sell in? For me, it would be first-class mail items. So ideally, under £1. That's why ideally I would sell watches or luxury goods because they're small and expensive. So, I mean, the biggest luxury item is still going to fit in a flat rate mailer. Let's see here. And my final thought, because I'm trying to keep this short, guys, hit the like button if you would. I would appreciate that. My final thought is that I would like to have zero death pile. If you guys have missed my thoughts, you can check out the description. I put the 5 thoughts in it. If you don't want to watch the video or participate in the chat, you can just read the 5 things and move on with your life. But the final thing is I would like to have zero death pile. It's kind of a slap in the face when you have a death pile and you're still buying items, especially with family members, and they're like, why are you buying things when you have so much stuff to list? And I actually 100% agree with them. It's sort of like enabling. I have all this stuff to list in my house. I might as well list it all before I buy anything else. Of course, it's a little bit boring, but I'm going to really concentrate on listing till I have zero death pile. That's going to be one of my mantras. And so I'm going to drink my own Kool-Aid and have zero death pile. So I'll make a commitment that by the end of June, I will have nothing unlisted. Right now, my death pile is definitely still in the thousands. So as I get everything done and listed, at this point, my sales are pretty stable. So I don't have to even buy any more items to really keep the money rolling. And it has definitely picked up in May since March and April. March and April were very slow for me. But now that I am getting the hang of sorting, so I am in the niche of clothing. And as I've sold hundreds and hundreds and now thousands of items, I'm now understanding more clothing. I understand shoes because I've been doing that a long time, but clothing is I'm new to, and I'm venturing into women's clothing. I follow a lot of women Instagrammers, so I'm getting a lot of their feedback, which is great and learning. But I would actually like to have zero death pile by the end of June. So I'm going to work hard, make sure that goes well. In the Sun by the Beach is asking if I'm walking in the stores like Target and Macy's to buy things on clearance. Yes. So I'm going to still go shopping, but I'm going to list hundreds more items than I buy. And the way I'm going to basically do that is look for items that are $45 or more. So if they're not selling on eBay, the solds are not $45 or more, I'm going to hold off for now and just list what I have until those items are gone. Then I might go back into listing cheaper items. But I'm starting to realize that I could actually do 10,000 items by myself if the items are new. That didn't occur to me because I discovered thrifting and I got super excited because I was like, oh, buy something for $1, sell for 20. Wow, that margin's insane, right? But it's insane, but then it's also, it's $11 or $12 after fees, right? And $11 or $12, you're making 10 extra money, right? It's exciting, but then it's still only 10 bucks. So looking at this morning, I listed 200 items, even at $5 a piece, that's $1,000 profit, right? And I was able to do that by myself. I was able to make $1,000 profit by myself versus listing 100 used items is very challenging. You'd have to be on your game, really specific processes, no bullshit, sit down, list 100 items, correctly describe all of them, except 2 to 3 returns on those 100 items, tons of packing materials. So it is interesting selling pre-owned with new, but I'm going to have zero death pile at the end of June. I'm going to probably do a quick 10-minute video like this every day, just to clear my mind, and I'm going to stick to that. So thanks guys for checking in. I'm going to get back to listing. I want to get rid of all this pile because I do think it's kind of hypocritical for me to talk about eBay and have a death pile. I think if you are trying to help people on their journey, you should not have a death pile. I mean, that's sort of a very bad thing, in my opinion. Even though I've heard from some resellers you can have up to 2 weeks of supply, I'd like to have 0, to be honest. So hope you guys are having a great night. I'm going to the reseller rally in a couple of weeks. Hope to see you guys at the night before. I have a good friend, Ryan. He's not a good friend, but he's an Instagram friend. They helped me set up a dinner. So if you're in Chicago in 2 weeks, let's hang out. Otherwise, if you guys want to set up another reseller hangout, let me know. I'm always down to level up and learn new stuff. But everyone, have a great night. Have a great Monday. And happy reselling.